Hey, it's Shaq, and now that the NBA All-Star Weekend is over, it's time for the second half of the season to get underway. It's a tight battle in both the Western and Eastern Conferences as teams are vying for playoff position. And I've been saying for months, there's only one place to get in on all the action. BetOnline.ag. Sign up today for a free account and use the promo code PODCAST1. And when you make your first deposit, you'll receive a 50% bonus. That's promo code PODCAST1. NBA excitement is heating up. Don't miss out on all the fun. BetOnline.ag, your online sportsbook experts.
All right, hour number 3 of the Rich Eisen Show is on the air. 2 great chats we've had so far. Brian Windhorst on what's going on in the NBA and the crisis, as he calls it, with refereeing and officiating. And Trent Dilfer going through the draft and where the quarterbacks that were on the radar screen for so many teams, where they wound up and what he thought. And he just added to the chorus of criticism for Dave Gettleman on drafting Daniel Jones where he was drafted at 6th overall. What did he say? He called him like a Jake Locker, Christian Ponder type situation where he's genuinely concerned that they were overdrafted to a spot and they have a certain character that is better than their athletic ability. And he did not at all think that there were 2 other teams that Gettleman said no, he knew for a fact that would have prevented them from drafting Daniel Jones 17th overall. And he just added to the chorus, and it's my first time where I'm genuinely concerned for the Giants after hearing that from Trent.
By the way, that 2011 draft, so Cam Newton went 1st overall, Von Miller 2nd. Talk about those quarterbacks. Jake Locker went 8 to Tennessee, Blaine Gabbert 10 to Jacksonville, Christian Ponder 12 to Minnesota. You know who was drafted 11th?
No.
J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt, right? Yeah. That worked. But read off the top 5. The top 5 are insane.
The top 6. Cam Newton 1, Von Miller 2, Marcel Darius went 3, A.J. Green 4, Patrick Peterson 5, Julio Jones 6.
Atlanta traded all the way up to get him. You're like, why are we trading all the way up to get a wide receiver?
Tyron Smith went 9.
I mean, hell of a draft.
Yeah.
Heck of a draft.
Great draft.
And in terms of, we came on the air, Scott Foster, who hasn't even made a call in this series yet, the referee, he's trending for a third straight hour. Unbelievable. Before we get to your news update, Jeff in Colorado has been waiting to chime in on this subject, so let's get to that phone call right here on the Rich Eisen Show. What's up, Jeff?
Hi, Rich. Thanks for taking my call. I'm a 15-year high school official and a police officer for almost 30 years. And when I was watching your show, I've never called in before, but when I was watching your show, what hit me was that our society is at a point where they don't want to respect the authority. And you know, talking about high school sports, when you have fans following you to the parking lot that want to fight you because you made a bad call, there's something wrong there.
Is that what's happening to you in Colorado, Jeff? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that was a one-time deal in 15 years, and it was very quickly handled by local law enforcement, and so I was very appreciative of that. But I'm saying when I look at the scrutiny that happens with the professional official, I don't think our society understands how difficult it is to do that job and understand what it takes to be an official, whether it be the physical conditioning, the calmness, the relationships you have to have with fans, coaches, and players, and that human nature is going to take a role. They're going to make mistakes.
Well, last thing for you, Jeff, before we get to our news update, where do you stand on what's a foul in this series, Warriors-Rockets, whether Harden is jumping into people, trying to get contact, good no call, or the Warriors are landing in his landing area? What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's both, but what I saw in all the replays, and I watched as much as I could this morning, was his feet come forward and make contact with the defensive player. And in sports or in basketball, the referees are taught to referee the defensive player. And then it's also protecting the shooter. And so there was one that I thought probably should have been a foul, but most of them are Harden's feet coming forward and initiating that contact, and that's either a no call or an offensive foul.
All right, Jeff, thanks very much. It's Jeff in Colorado here on the Rich Eisen Show. Felt the need to want to chime in for his own personal experience there. And speaking about respecting authority, a man who played a cop in Southland on TNT all those years ago on Southland. Ben McKenzie was his co-star. He's been on. Regina King, co-star. She's been on. Jeffrey Dean Morgan apparently asserted his authority back in the day on Walking Dead. He's been on this show. This is about time Michael Cudlitz has come on this show. He's about to join us. And he's about to join us here on this program on ABC's The Kids Are All Right. That's coming up shortly. Be a fun chat with him. Lots of great pop culture stuff and sports to talk about with Michael. That's next. Chris Brockman, you got a news update over there?
Let's do it.
Let's hit it, please.
And now,
Brockman with a special live report.
Brockman with the news.
Brought to you by the 2019 Honda Civic lineup, from the fun-to-drive Civic Si and the versatile Civic hatchback to the record-breaking performance of the Civic Type R. There's a Civic for every enthusiast. Head to your Honda dealer today to find yours. And before you get started, I do want to raise my hand and give you the my bad hand up. El Zorro, a Rich Eisen Show researcher, gave me the proper stat for Old Gen Stat. I screwed it up.
Oh.
Okay. It's not 4 straight losses for Justin Verlander with giving up just 1 run on a solo home run. He just happened to lose this last game, 1-0. It's just 4 straight starts, period, in which he's given up 1 run, and each time that's been a solo home run providing that 1 run.
Oh, wow.
So
That sounds a little bit
my
better.
bad, sir. Your information was spot on. Just blame the delivery man. Just blame it on the delivery man. It's what it's what I do every single time I miss a shot. Before Callaway started sponsoring the Rich Eisen Show. Now and then I raise my bad. My bad.
All
right, you got it over. What do you got?
Yeah, sure. So Josh Rosen, as we know, traded to the Dolphins. He met the media yesterday and kind of talked about what it was like.
It felt like I got drafted twice. They actually called me from their draft room, so I talked to GM, head coach, coordinator, just as if I was actually normally drafted. I mean, it's just kind of another opportunity. Very rarely do you get a second chance to make a first impression, so trying to get off to the right foot with all these guys here, meet all my teammates, try and break down this playbook as quickly as you can.
Hey, you heard what Dilfer said. He's in a good spot. It's a cerebral system where they provide a lot for the quarterback to discern, disseminate, figure out, execute real time. That he's going to be challenged. Jim Caldwell's a guy who's obviously coached the most cerebral quarterback that a lot of people will say has played in the last 25 years. So, and Peyton Manning. So it's a good spot for him, and he's got 1 year pretty much to stave off what happened to him last year or this year, right?
Yeah, interesting spot.
Because, again, I think that they still, and that's why I think he's going to start. They just evaluate him. Let's see what you got. And Kenyon Drake's back there. Kenny Stills is outside. They have a good team there.
They do have a good team. We'll see. He also, much has been made about Rosen's public image. Coming from means, the hot tub photos, his outside interests, what have you, and he addressed that.
I think I was a little bit of a bad perception at first, but what I've tried to do is just not really say or do anything extra, just kind of be me and continue on and keep my head down, and eventually the story will straighten out. I think it has for the most part. Like I said, that's another thing that's out of my control, but what is in my control is just what I can do every day and basically just try and be consistent, be the same guy, have the same kind of energy every time I step into the locker room and in the facility, so that all of my teammates kind of know what guy they're getting. So I think time and consistency is the best case to best medicine almost to cure the ill narrative.
Do you know who's really pissed about Rosen? More than anybody that I've spoken to or texted with on this subject?
Who's that?
My mother. She's pissed. I can only think of what Josh Rosen's own Jewish mother is thinking. She's pissed. What's the matter with Josh Rosen? Why couldn't the Cardinals hold on to him? Why didn't they trade him sooner? She watches every day now on PR
I like that
Live.
your mom is dialed in.
Oh, my God. I don't know if she's pissed. She doesn't understand why Josh Rosen, such a nice boy. There's nothing wrong with him. A big-armed Josh Rosen. Only a second-round pick for him. Why? Somebody's going to have to account for Eveline Eisen's questions other than me. Okay? Hi, Mom.
A couple other NFL notes. The Colts.
Maybe should I have Josh Rosen record a Mother's Day wishes to my mom in a couple weeks?
I think that's a pretty good idea.
Okay, along with her Sherry's berries.
I love those charity parades. The Colts notably did not draft a running back. They did, however, sign Spencer Ware today to a 1-year deal.
Man, the Colts, I think, still have $100 million left in salary cap room, too.
A lot of space
they really can build, bro.
Yeah.
They're in great shape.
Well, what did McAfee call them? The hottest rising team in the NFL?
Well, he said last year they drafted 2 All-Pros.
This year they drafted 10.
Fact, Darius Leonard and Big Q. And this year they're going to draft 10.
In a future
hey, man, Ballard's done a great job. And I know that everything got screwed up with their coaching search last year, but they got the right guy in Reich.
Looks like it. Yeah, looks like
it. Lost amongst the McAfee soliloquy was him calling it, building it around the Stanford nerd.
Andrew Luck. Yeah.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah. Jamal Charles announced his retirement after 11 years. Injuries kind of derailed his career.
But he signed a 1-day contract with the Chiefs.
To retire with the Chiefs.
The reason why Steve Smith wasn't on our show last week, and it would have been great to have him after his Rosen rant, was he was asked by Jonathan Stewart to be at his retirement one day signing with the Panthers. I got to tell you, when I retire, whenever that is, knock on wood, hopefully not for many, many, many moons, I don't think I'd sign a 1-day contract with ESPN.
No?
I know, I don't understand.
What about...
what's with the signing the 1-day contract to retire as fill in the blank?
What about a 1-day with the Spirit of the North State?
KRCR Television?
Or the Advance?
The Staten Island Advance. Retire a 1-day contract with the publication known as the Staten Island Advance?
I won't be signing a 1-day with Target.
Well, my first job, I told you, was cold calling New York. This is a true story. My first job I ever had was a telemarketer. Well, this may not be true. My first job I ever had was doing checkout for Wallbaum's and Pathmark. I think I still have the polyester smock with the Richard label that I had there. Okay, double coupon days I was not in a good mood on double coupon days, but I cold called Brooklyn and Staten Island residents to ask them to subscribe to the New York Post, and my time slot was Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yikes.
The colorful language I heard, not safe for work. Any job.
Kentucky Derby this weekend.
Yes, Hank's on our show Friday.
I haven't looked at any of the horses yet. Tradition unlike any other. Me screwing those names up. NBC did announce they're adding Von Miller to the coverage this weekend.
Okay.
The race is on Saturday. Miller will be a lifestyle correspondent.
Why not?
Kind of judging outfits and all that stuff,
Why wouldn't he? I can't wait to see what his outfit's going to be.
That's going to be pretty cool.
First interview one-on-one with Wes Welker, right? So what's it going to be?
By the way, speaking of, I think the Bro Trip is back on. Brady, Welker, Edelman, Amendola, all those guys back on. I saw something like that on
fantastic.
Twitter yesterday. So keep an eye out for that.
All right.
Vince Carter tells the Winging It podcast he's going to come back for a 22nd NBA season.
22nd? Is that a record?
Dirk was 21 this year, right? I
I
don't know who's played the longest. Chris Paul, as we mentioned, was fined $35,000, but not suspended for contacting the referee at the end of Game 1. He will play tonight. Obviously, Scott Foster's working Game 2. Okay, so let's get to this. You kind of teased it. The Indian Army, that's India, says it has discovered footprints in the Himalayas that appear to belong to a Yeti.
Come on.
That's Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti.
How do they know it wasn't a human foot?
I mean, that's a huge human.
Is it, how big is the footprint? Did they say in the article, or did you just read the headline?
I just read the headline.
How big is the footprint?
All right,
you look it up while I ask Mike Del Tufo this. Do you believe in Bigfoot? You think Bigfoot exists?
No, Rich.
You don't believe Bigfoot
You don't?
exists?
No.
You don't believe.
You love conspiracies, though.
I love them, but
I know
that.
you do not believe.
Noah's
Yeti.
Ark's up there somewhere.
All right, hold on.
But I do not believe in Bigfoot.
Okay, the footprints were found near the Mount Makalu base camp on April 9th.
Why wouldn't it be?
32 inches by 15 inches.
What's it, a giant from Game of Thrones? That's not Bigfoot.
All right,
Stop.
so the footprint, 32 inches. Hold on a minute. That's 2 feet, 10 inches long.
Yeah.
And then a foot and a few inches wide. That's the footprint?
That's the footprint.
Mike, Bigfoot exists.
No,
That's a Yeti.
I don't believe
By
it.
the way, I just saw 2 movies: Smallfoot, Bigfoot. My kids. It seems like every animated movie that I'm not in. By the way, my Puppy Dog Pals comes out next week, along with Billions. It's a big week for me next week. Outside of this show, you don't think
No.
a Yeti exists?
No.
Then who created? Then what? That's a 2.5 foot long foot.
A
My
spokesman for the country's defense ministry.
We're
Now
seeing
that is tremendous.
That could be the
taking my hold on a minute. Let me describe for the radio audience.
Oh, this is
Taking my
great.
shot of me pointing at the actual Leaning Tower of Pisa for my vacation. Where I'm grimacing as if I'm holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, having that and pointing at a actual
That is
Bigfoot.
the best. Whoever made
That is out of bounds.
That is fantastic.
Here on the Rich Eisen Show,
All right,
that is not right and unacceptable.
The Indian Defense Ministry told NBC News photographs taken by the Army's mountaineering expedition team had been
Yes.
passed on to the scientific community for verification.
All right, let's talk to a man that's been around zombies professionally. Michael Cudlitz, do you think Bigfoot exists? Yes or no?
I can neither confirm or deny.
Cannot confirm or deny. Okay. We just.
I mean, you were pointing at something.
Right. I mean. All right.
I'm putting that on.
Everybody's ganging up on me.
He's great.
All right, Michael Cudlitz, The Kids Are All Right, latest episode on ABC tonight. Let's chat with him when we come back here on The Rich Eisen Show. In sports, a trade can make or break your team. A good one can mean a championship, but a bad one can set your franchise back for years, and it is no different when it comes to selling or trading in your car. You need to make good choices, and with TrueCar, you've got a star on your roster. Just go to TrueCar, simply enter your license plate number, and watch how your car's details pop up. Then answer a few questions. Got a sports package or a moonroof? Watch as they bump up your car's value in real time. High mileage? Well, you already knew that was going to cost you. But now you know how much it dings your wallet so you can strategize your next move. Once you're finished, you'll get a true cash offer sent in minutes. Then just bring your car into a local certified dealer and they'll check your car with you together. After that, you can cash out or trade in for a new ride. So when you're ready to experience a better way to sell or trade in your car, check out TrueCar today. True cash offer not available in all states. Everybody's got a to-do list. Drop off the dry cleaning, pick up some milk. Here's an idea. Let's save hundreds of dollars on car insurance to that list. And the good thing is you don't have to drop off or pick up anything. All you have to do is go to geico.com, and in 15 minutes, you could be saving 15% or more on car insurance. Extra money in your pocket, of course. This may be the most rewarding you do today. Big fan of this man's work way back in the day with Band of Brothers. And, of course, there's Southland that everybody still yearns for right now. Also from The Walking Dead, but right now from The Kids Are All Right, which airs tonight and every single Tuesday on ABC at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Michael Cudlitz, good to see you, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me in.
So you are from, we just chit-chatted back there. I'm from Staten Island. You are from?
Flushing.
Flushing,
yeah.
right in the home of the New York Mets, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I have memories. I think they're memories. I'm not sure if they're actual memories or memories from seeing the photograph so many times.
Yes, right.
Memories of walking underneath the big aviary that's still there from the 64 World's Fair.
The World's Fair.
Yeah.
Where Men in Black took place as well.
Exactly. So when I drive by from the airport coming in from JFK, the city, you go, oh, I remember. I remember.
Right. So that's where did you really grow up?
Like, right across
there?
on the other side of the parkway.
So you were there.
Till I was 5.
Okay.
And then I moved to New Jersey.
Okay. Then you moved to Jersey. Yeah. So just kind of like the Jets also. The New York Jets played and started
New
in
Jersey
Queens.
Jets? Yeah, absolutely. Playing in the Meadowlands, which is in New Jersey.
That's right. I know. Buffalo Bills fans will always say that they're the only team in New York State because the Giants and the Jets moved to New Jersey.
Yeah, everybody's playing in another state. So like the Anaheim deal with the Angels, the Los Angeles Angels.
They are that. Yeah,
they are.
They are. We're on Angels Radio AM 830 right now. If you want to say hello to the Los Angeles Angels fans.
I'm sure you're all really pleased about this. I don't really have a stake in this, but I'm sure there's a lot of Angels fans that are really happy that they're the Los Angeles Angels.
Right. So when you grew up a fan of which team in New York City?
None of them really. I enjoy watching.
Sure.
I'm sure this will play really well with the audience we're talking to. But no, I know
it doesn't matter.
But I never a specific team fan. A fan of sports. Love
Right.
watch. I mean, these are world class level athletes.
So then, which athlete did you emulate growing up? Then
I guess the last sort of person I followed would be Fran Tarkington.
Okay.
Minnesota Vikings.
Sure. Well, you also had time with the Giants too.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah. But it's that was and for me, free agency ruined a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of reminds me of like when my car got broken into the first time and I had all my cassettes stolen, my cassette collection. You're kind of like,
really?
well, I'm never going to collect music anymore because if it can all get taken away that easily. I feel the same way about the sports teams. It's like, who am I following? Am I following a team that's going to pick up and move in the middle of the night? It's because they can do that now.
Right.
Like following a team that's going to fall apart because, you got a guy running into the end zone. You got number one. Team's getting its butt kicked 30-0.
That's like
he's worried about his stats.
That's like the Seinfeld joke that you root for laundry, that it doesn't matter who's in it. You just root for the actual uniform people in laundry.
So, unless you're in Green Bay, then you're like, because it's not going anywhere because they own it.
Right. That's
you know what I mean? So it's still one of the teams where you're sort of like, I can get behind. My buddy's a Green Bay Packers fan and owner, and it's amazing.
So in this analogy, Michael Cudlitz here on the Rich Eisen Show, in this analogy, when Indianapolis took the Colts out of Baltimore in the middle of the night, they were the thief that took your cassette collection out of your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the collection of? I mean, who'd you have? What were you listening to back in the day, man?
I don't even know who it would have been. It would have been all 70s rock.
Well, Mike, I mean, that's your bailiwick over there. 70. Did you ever have a cassette collection just stolen?
Cassette, 8-track.
Did you steal Michael's collection? You lived in New Jersey. Hold on a second now. Wait a minute.
No.
Was the car broken into in New Jersey?
It was.
He was a cop in New Jersey, and a terrible cop at that.
Yeah.
and apparently a thief.
Well, he was the bad lieutenant, and also disc jockey, breaking into Michael's car to take his cassette.
It was you.
It was you all along.
I do have a cassette. I still have a cassette collection.
Do you really?
Yeah, I have probably 500, 600 of them.
What do you do with
Big boxes. I'm transferring them into recording them. So you can actually.
That's what you do in your spare time.
If we find them, we can transfer them for you.
What do you think, Michael?
I don't know. Like for $20, I
Just
can have the whole thing on like digital. Like what's the point? It's like
sounds a lot better.
Spotify.
I'm sure yeah, exactly. Hey Alexa.
Hey, they might have been homemade cassettes.
Oh man, Michael Cudlitz here on the Rich Eisen Show. Is it true you broke into acting? You're initially working on sets. Is that true?
Well, I didn't break into it that way. I used construction for film and television to pay my way through school, and it was acting school.
So how'd you get the acting bug?
I've been doing it since the third grade. My folks tell me about when I used to sit in front of the television and sort of get up and act out the commercials, which I believe them. I don't remember it, but I believe them. And it makes sense because the commercials used to have and products used to have jingles, so there was like something you could get behind.
Oh, sure.
Oscar Mayer Wiener and
of course
the Big Mac, 12 beef patties.
Special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
There was things you could hook into. Right?
We almost harmonized.
And we were like,
Michael.
"Oh my gosh, I know it!" You're literally like, "Oh, I know it." You're like, "Yeah, you're a complete victim of marketing. Good for you."
Even
Shut
to this
up.
day,
I know it. You're like, "All right, where's the beef?"
Wendy's. See, it still sticks with me.
Yeah.
So, which set were you working carpentry on?
I did early on. I did a lot of B movies, but early on, my first long-term job in construction was on the set of Beverly Hills 90210, the original.
So
which there's a kind of interesting story of that because I converted all the stages that we were working on for Beverly Hills 90210 in Van Nuys, and now we're shooting The Kids Are All Right on those stages.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So you're like walking around saying I used to do.
No, I'm not, because it's like weird. I'm sort of like, I'm too young to be full circle with anything. It's like, people are like, oh, it's all come full circle. I'm like, what's next? Death? Like what? No, there's no full circle yet. Circles are completed later.
No, but these are humble beginnings, but so you went from building the sets to acting on the sets?
On that show, yeah. I actually, I remember being pulled into the the office,
right,
with Paul Wagner and some of the execs on Aaron Spelling.
Yeah.
And they had said, "Hey, we know you're you're doing all the construction on the show and smacking this mic every chance you get.
Don't worry, it's okay.
But we know you're an actor, but we just can't have you on the show. Like you can't, if you're thinking about acting on the show, you really can't because it's conflict of interest." And I said,
conflict of interest? What? Like
but I was fine.
Like,
I was
if you
like,
want somebody's part, you just loosen the woodwork or something like that.
I have no idea. I was just sort of like, all right, this is just. I don't know where this was coming from their end, but I was like, that's fine. So, one of the first movies I ever did, A River Runs Through It, came out shortly after that meeting, and then we had another meeting where I knew that they were having trouble casting some roles,
right?
Because they needed bigger guys that looked young, and they came to me. River Runs Through It came out. They pulled me in the office and they said, "Okay, we didn't know you were really an actor, so we have this thing we want you to do." I said, "What happened to the whole conflict of interest?"
Yeah.
I go, "Was it like a conflict of your interest or my? Like who's?" So when it served their interests, it was perfectly fine. So I said, "Okay, I'll let's do this."
And
so,
what was your role again?
I played Tony Miller. I took Brenda to the prom. I was introduced in the steroid episode where we were going to beat up Steve.
You were juicing on Beverly Hills 90210?
Yeah. That's what I kind of loved about the show. It actually, for its time, was really dealt with a lot of stuff the kids were dealing with. You look back at it and was it a soap opera at its heart? But was it dealing with all these social issues we were dealing with? Anorexia, bulimia, eating disorders, teen suicide. We were dealing with rape. They were dealing with a lot of really heavy issues. Chuck Rosen was responsible for all that, and just I think did a phenomenal job connecting with the people of that age during that time. A lot of people grew up on that show, and it was something that was going on at the time.
Sure.
And it was an interesting take on exploring that the way we could. It was a lot of it was fairly superficial. But to me, that's a really wonderful way to introduce something and let people know that they're not alone in whatever struggle they're going through.
Did you ever meet the big cheese, Aaron Spelling? Did you ever meet him?
I met Aaron a couple times. Yeah.
Okay.
He was very, very accessible. That was part of, from what I understand, there's a lot of security around him because early on, because he was so accessible, his family was, and this is how I remember it. So if I'm getting this wrong and anyone's going to be you're crappy about it on social media, it's how I remember it.
Okay, Michael.
They used to have people, there were threats against his family of kidnapping and such. So he was very, very insular with his security, but with his crews and the people that worked with him was very giving and loving and present.
Well, that's great. Michael Cudlitz here on the Rich Eisen Show. When you look back on your time on The Walking Dead, what do you think of, sir?
Just wonderful storytelling, really great friends, and possibly the worst working conditions so far as weather I've ever experienced.
What do you mean?
Just the rain and the heat and the humidity, and which was all part of the show, and which is what I think helps make the show as good as it is, because the environment is actually another character that you have to deal with. You wake up the day and you're like, okay, it's hot and it's miserable and you guys are cranky. Okay, got it. It's like half your work is done for you. You're like, okay, we're there.
It's great.
Yep. Good morning. We're there.
That's in fact how I showed up to work today.
Exactly.
And what are your views on me? I mean, I could talk about what happened to your character, but
really,
is it a spoiler alert? I mean, no, seriously.
At this point?
I mean, what is the philosophy for somebody? Even years later, what is your philosophy as an actor? Because we talk about this with Game of Thrones right now, like how too soon is too soon. Because obviously, what happens with your character is such a major.
Oh yeah, I think if you're a
shocker
huge
at the
fan
time,
of the show,
right?
Yeah, I think there's like a week grace period.
A week.
Yeah, and then other than that, it's on you. Like if you're the one who's going to stack everything up and binge,
right?
It's on you to not. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, the whole world has to not talk about something that they're experiencing together because you are not fitting it into your schedule.
Right.
That's on you.
Okay. Because again, you're part of that show, a significant, massive following that had a ton of spoilers.
Yeah,
and you were part of one in a way. And
we actually Steven and I had to keep our secret for more than a year.
For more than a year.
Yeah, but big secrets like that are easy to keep because you just can't talk about it.
Okay,
it's the smaller secrets that happen during the season which are harder because you lose track of where you are in the episode.
Sure,
So you sort of like, did that air yet? Did that not air? So
right.
And one thing affects something down the road. So you realize you kind of maybe tilted your hand a little bit on a smaller thing that wasn't supposed to be known because it affects so many other things down the road. But when it's a big thing, you just don't talk about it.
And how many people come up to you and ask you about Southland still?
Oh, a lot. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, we do these conventions for Walking Dead, and a lot of the parents come, and a lot of law enforcement. It was an amazing time in my life, and an amazing sort of way to get to spend time and learn more about my city. Mm-hmm. There are areas that we went into that I'd never, if you watch the news, there's a whole chunk of the city you should never go near. If you actually spend time in that city and the wonderful neighborhoods and the people there, it's phenomenal.
You ever want to do it again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we'd all go back.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Because you guys have all gone into some bigger and better, as we all know. Regina
just different. I like to
know.
say that. Well, Regina bigger and better.
No, I mean, bigger. Well, an Oscar will do that, but I mean,
Oscar, Emmys, amazing work.
I shouldn't say better. You're right.
Yeah,
but you've all gone on to completely different others and had success at it.
Yeah.
But you think you and Ben McKenzie and Regina King would all get back together, right?
Absolutely.
You'd all come back together.
Yeah, yeah. That was some of the most creative storytelling I think that any of us have ever done.
So what's holding you back?
I just think somebody doing it. I believe that John Wells had actually approached Netflix at one time. I don't know if at the time there was the interest, but I foresee the potential of it still.
Well, I mean, so much is being brought back in a way from comedy. Will and Grace. I can't wait for the Deadwood movie coming out next month on
my
HBO.
wife was just telling me about that last night. So I was kind of like, whoa.
Right, exactly. So why not? Why not?
I don't know why not. I'm in agreement with you. I think personally, I'd love to do something like they did with the Sherlock series. Do 2 or 3 every year or so, and kind of dip in to see where these people are and how they've evolved. And I think we could do some really cool stuff.
They've been doing that with Luther also on BBC as well. Okay.
Yeah, so I think we'd all do it.
You know what? I would pay to see that.
Yeah, John Wells, get on it.
Okay, yeah,
I know
John,
you're watching or somebody's watching.
John, wherever you are and whatever yacht you're water skiing behind.
Peter
right
Roth at Warner Brothers.
All right, let's do that, and let's talk about The Kids Are All Right now.
Right.
A nice throwback from the '70s. Family of 8. There we go.
8 boys.
8 boys, which definitely was not 8 is enough.
8 boys, and my wife has to deal with 9 children.
There you go.
8 boys and me.
And you. And Mary McCormick plays your wife.
Yeah,
she's awesome. She's
amazing.
She's all kinds of great.
Yep.
What do you like doing about this show, Michael?
So much. The kids are amazing, actually, the actors that we have. But for me, it was a big shift in my career. I needed a moment. We talked about the Band of Brothers and Southland and Walking Dead, and I had been carrying a gun basically for 15, 16, 17 years. I wanted, and I've said this before, so it's not a new shtick, but I wanted to be able to walk into a room and feel like I didn't have to clear it before I could have a conversation with somebody. I got tired of killing people on screen. I'll go back to that. There's nothing that's drama. Conflict and drama, and I get it, but
don't limit yourself.
Yeah, I'm not, because I don't want to go. Oh, I would never. I was tired of doing it, and then next month I'm doing it again, and people are like, "You're a liar." And I'm like, no, I'll go back to it, but I just needed to laugh at work for all the right reasons.
Okay. Well, it's on every single Tuesday, including tonight on ABC at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's been great. Like I told you backstage, we've had so many of your colleagues on the show. It's great to have you here, from Regina King to Ben McKenzie. And it's funny, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, when he sat on that couch, he was very comfortable holding that bat.
Yeah, I bet he was. Jeffrey and I go way back.
With bats.
Big, huge history with bats.
With bats. Do people come up and say, "I miss Abraham," or give you a hug
about
what happened to you?
They literally say, "Oh my gosh, Abraham was possibly my favorite character. Can you sign my bat?" Like, yeah. With their Team Negan T-shirts on. We miss you so much. I'm like, so much that you couldn't have gotten my T-shirt? All right.
That's the way fans are. That's the way fans are.
No, they love the show. They do love the characters. I love the character of Negan, so I get it. It's I think the characters, especially the graphic novel characters, are so well developed you can't help but fall in love with them.
Right. Well, it's great to have you here. I hope you come back soon, sir.
I will.
Good to have you here. At Cudlitz, certainly to promote the new reboot of Southland.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we have just created here in our best of our way. At Cudlitz on both Twitter and Instagram. Michael Cudlitz here. The Kids Are All Right tonight on ABC and every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're back to wrap up this show in a sec.
Have you checked out the big podcast with Shaq here at Podcast One? Yeah, we talk basketball, but we're a lot more than just sports.
I met this fabulous lady. She had to be in her 70s, knew everything about me, knew everything about sports. And the last thing she says, I love your podcast. And I was like, thank you very much. But I hate that John Kincaid.
That's terrible. Listen free to the big podcast with Shaq exclusively on Apple Podcasts, PodcastOne.com, and the Podcast One app. If you love the show, share it with a friend and leave us a rating and review.
Stay tuned for 60 seconds of AP News headlines right after this podcast.
What a great time of year it is. Beautiful weather and all the sports you can handle. This weekend you have the Kentucky Derby and big-time boxing matches. If you're looking to add some excitement, make BetDSI your betting partner. Use BetDSI's live betting platform where you can watch all the events and even bet till the final bell. New members get a 100% bonus match using promo code DR101. That's double your money to start winning today. So why choose BetDSI? BetDSI has been paying winners for 20 years. BetDSI is the top rated on betting review sites. Try betting on BetDSI where you can bet all the games from start to finish. Every play, every minute until the end. Again, new members get a 100% bonus match using promo code DR101. That's double your money to start winning today. I play there myself and recommend BetDSI if you want to add some excitement to the sports you love or any other sports that you're watching. Once again, go to BetDSI and use promo code DR101. Get this limited time 100% bonus cash offer. It's only a game until you bet it on BetDSI.
All right, checking on our poll question as we close up the shop on our poll question, brought to you by TrueCar. Shopping so confusing for a new car with terms like dealer price, list price, and invoice. TrueCar shows you what other people paid for the car you want so you can recognize that good price. When you're ready to buy new or used, please visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. What do you have over there, sir?
All right, these NBA playoff teams are down 1-0 in their series. Who has the best chance to come back and win? The Blazers, 38%, Bucks, 36%. Rockets 25.
Blazers, huh? Blazers. Telling you, nobody's buying the Nuggets until they make the Western Conference Finals and put a scare in to the Rockets who get through because Scott Foster.
Jokic throwing in 30-plus, triple-doubles. Jamal Murray, I think, is kind of the key for that team.
Okay. I was going funny. You went actual, legitimate breaking down Nuggets basketball.
Yeah,
You're real serious over there. You got a cold. You just probably want to go lie down, take a nap, because that's all you do is buy shoes and nap.
I do. Well, I'm getting my sleep number bed today.
Oh, you're getting your sleep number bed today. Very
yeah,
nice
so I really can't wait to take a nap later.
Scott Foster's made it through the entire show trending on Twitter in the top 5. He's now down to the 4th trending topic in the United States. Sonic the Hedgehog still leads. Venezuela still second, but now something hashtag F8 2019. I guess that's a Facebook something or other. Yeah, I clicked on it, and Facebook is announcing there's a new secret crush feature on Facebook. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
The first comment here, wondering if it's going to be competition for
Tinder, right? What could possibly go wrong with Facebook getting in that world?
Awesome.
Does that mean somebody swipes right on Putin? Is what that means?
Nice. Have you been watching Veep?
Yes, I'm caught up.
You're
catching up on Barry tonight.
Nice. Oh, tonight is.
I'm catching up on Barry tonight.
Back guano, man.
Yeah, Susie's. Yeah, Susie is. She's left for a couple days.
Oh, nice.
So I'm put the kids to bed and then watch a little bit of Barry tonight.
So at what point?
That's what I got going on. And Warriors, obviously. Warriors,
right.
Rockets.
That's what I mean. At what point tonight is Scott Foster the number 1 trending topic in the country?
Great question. First foul call on Chris Paul.
Ooh. Will he tee someone up tonight?
First, is this a prop or is this?
No, I'm just throwing things out. But I'm sure you can bet on that
When
somewhere.
these things happen, normally it doesn't materialize into something big. Normally we make it big.
Right.
And then when it happens, nothing happens. I think tonight has the I don't know why. I don't know why. But I think tonight has all the makings of a blowout.
For
either side.
Interesting.
Like, this is not going to be close because we're all expecting, like, please give me 6 more of those. Like that's the typical thing that you get in a 7-game series after game one's great. I'll take 6 more of those. Please give me 6 more. I'll sign up for 6 more of those. And then usually the first one out of the 6 more of those is a total clunker. I smell blowout.
Wow. 5.5. The line's 5.5.
I have no idea who it is for or what. Yeah. And it could be a damn close game. Who the hell knows? That's all I'm saying.
I hope the Celtics blow them out tonight.
So our next, have we decided our next for, like, in honor of ESPN, the magazine, closing up shop after 21 years? Sorry, but when was the last time you bought an ESPN, the magazine? When was the last time you bought a magazine?
So I still subscribe to Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
I've been a subscriber.
We get Sports Illustrated for kids sent to the house.
So I've been a subscriber since 1996.
Did you get a Patriots helmet phone back in 96? What did you get for subscribing?
Oh,
Do you
man,
remember
I
the
think
gift
it was
that you got?
the fleece, the blue fleece.
Oh, you got a fleece.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would get the bag every couple of years.
Okay.
So I've been a continuous subscriber there. But I did subscribe to ESPN, the magazine, for about a dozen years. It was great.
I have no...
It was great.
I wrote for it, man. I think nothing but the world of periodicals and written and the written word. It's
but
crucial.
Now you just get everything, everything
right under palm. I mean, I can't remember the last time I'm like, okay, from ESPN, the magazine, somebody's on the show. It's just a long form. I always read it on ESPN.com.
Right.
Any of their most famous long form writers or what have you, I never really read it in the pages of something like that, which is a sign of the times. It's unfortunate. It's amazing. Like the other day, like last month, I don't know how or why, but Silly Putty wound up in my house.
Oh, man.
Right?
Yeah.
But we couldn't find anything to push it on, like to get the print on the putty. There was nothing in the house that Silly. And Susie and I were telling the kids, you got to see it. It's amazing.
Magazines,
just
newspapers.
Zero. We couldn't find a thing in the house that it worked on.
It's kind of too bad.
So our next, we've decided, it's Mahomes for football. He is next.
Oh.
He is the next. I understand that he's here, but Lindros was on the cover years ago, and it was like year 6 or 7 for him.
Yeah.
Kobe was already an all-star the year before, off the bench, I guess. You
say
he wasn't a starter yet, but he was already in now. He was in a Sports Center commercial, man.
Yeah.
I did it with him and Stewart. All right? So,
but Cordell Stewart, what a whiff.
Cordell was next. Cordell was just getting into the league.
A-Rod.
And A-Rod, how was it not Jeter? How the hell was it not Jeter?
He was a baby.
What do you mean? Jeter was only in his second year.
In 98, Jeter was a World Series champion. A-Rod was, what was A-Rod? He was in Major League Baseball 2 years, but Jeter had a ring, for crying out loud. And plus, I'm biased for Jeter. Most incredible human being ever created.
Tom Brady, bite
okay?
I mean, the two of them.
I mean, A-Rod was in his 5th year.
So our next is Mahomes, Connor McDavid, Zion,
and Vlad
Jr. is not a bad one, man.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. By the way, kid's been up for a week, and he's our next. But one of our callers called in. It was a good one.
Wow, talk about a U2. Like, everyone knows who he is.
Oh, he's here in Southern California tonight. Okay. He's at the Angels tonight, Vlad Jr.
You want to go down?
No, I just told you, I'm solo. I'm Han Solo.
With the kids?
With the kids.
Oh, wow.
Want to come over? Hell no, right? You want to come over and watch the game?
Yeah,
watch the games. Watch the games. Oh, he's sick. That's right.
I'm sick. I don't want to get your kids sick. You know what I mean?
You two over there. It's been a 2-on-1 all day.
It's a thing.
Where you just bailed him out. And before I say, what do you want to see on your Instagram stories? My beautiful vacation with my beautiful family and beautiful Italy and the food. And you're like, no, I want to see Brockman playing slots.
I mean, I do actually enjoy it when he's sitting there and he's yelling.
Oh,
he's winning.
Oh my God!
Seriously, that Godfather machine.
It was amazing.
There's only one Venice, Mike. And you can even say there's Venice, California, but there's only one Venice, Italy. And I'm
hold on. I want to see one picture, not
and
20.
then I turn to you, and you say you don't even believe in the Yeti. I don't even know who you are
I'm
anymore.
actually really shocked you don't believe in Bigfoot.
You know me with my conspiracies.
There's a 2.5 long footprint found in the Himalayas.
Yeah, it's fake. It's a Game of Thrones draft.
All right, so I put it on Twitter. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Right now, 68% say no.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you, people.
Hey, on tomorrow's show, B.J. Armstrong, a longtime champion of the Bulls, now an agent in the NBA. He'll be joining us to talk about what we see tonight between the Warriors and Rockets with David Boreanaz and our buddy Josh Hopkins in studio as well. See you then.
Hello, guys. It's MMA fighter Chael Sonnen. Check out my podcast, You're Welcome, with Chael Sonnen every Wednesday and Friday right here at Podcast One. We cover the latest in mixed martial arts and everything else going on in the world of sport. Listen free to You're Welcome with Chael Sonnen, exclusively available at podcastone.com and on the Podcast One app. If you love the show, share it with a friend and leave us a rating and review.
The NBA playoffs are in full swing. The Warriors and the Rockets, the Sixers and the Raptors, the Nuggets and the Blazers, the Celtics and the Bucks. If you're looking to add some excitement, make BetDSI your betting partner for all the NBA action. Use BetDSI's live betting platform where you can watch all the events until the final whistle. New members get a 100% bonus match using promo code DR101. That's double your money to start winning today. So why choose BetDSI? BetDSI has been paying winners for 20 years. BetDSI is the top rated on betting review sites. Try betting on BetDSI where you can bet all the games from start to finish. Every play, every minute until the end. Again, new members get a 100% bonus match using promo code DR101. That's double your money to start winning today. I play there myself and recommend BetDSI if you want to add some excitement to the sports you love or any other sports that you're watching. Once again, go to BetDSI and use promo code DR101. Get this limited time 100% bonus cash offer. It's only a game until you bet it on BetDSI.
Hey, it's Shaq for the Big Podcast, and the NBA playoffs are in full gear. Every play, every moment, every game means that much more. As I've been saying for months, John, BetOnline.ag is the place to get in all this action. Sign up today for a free account and use promo code PODCAST1 for your 50% sign-in bonus. Can anyone slow down Golden State? Is Milwaukee the real deal? Yes, I think they are. How far can Houston and Boston go? Toronto? Don't miss out. BetOnline.ag, the exclusive partners of Podcast One Sportsnet and your online sportsbook experts.
Gun violence claims lives on a North Carolina campus. I'm Jackie Quinn with an AP News Minute. 2 people were killed when a gunman opened fire on a campus building at the University of Carolina, Charlotte. 4 people were wounded. Campus Police Chief Jeff Baker was asked if the suspect is someone that they knew was troubled.
It's an ongoing investigation that could reveal something like that, but I can tell you right now, it's not. He is not somebody that is on our radar.
No names or possible motive yet released. The man accused of killing a woman inside her California synagogue this weekend and blasting the finger off of a rabbi has entered a not guilty plea today in court. A flood barrier failed in Davenport, Iowa, sending water gushing through the downtown area. People had to be rescued from buildings and cars. A major power shortage at the International Space Station has delayed a launch of supplies this week. I'm Jackie Quinn.